Welcome, welcome, welcome to Straight Talk with Shelia. Thank you so much for meeting me here this week. I am so excited to be here with you again. I am so grateful for those of you who have reached out to me. Many of you have joined Igniters. I am excited to meet with you guys in Igniters every day for the past week. As a matter of fact, since we got started. So thank you so much for joining the tribe. Thank you for your contribution. I'm excited to be your coach and to provide a little bit of encouragement each morning as I get on my way, as I start my day. So I just stopped by here today to just share with you that I am in the waiting season, and I know you are in a waiting season. I'm not sure exactly what you're waiting on, but I tell you, this wait is for real, is for real, is for real. And I want to let you know today that while you wait, lead you. It is so important that we learn to lead ourselves. These days, we're experiencing all sorts of leadership. And, you know, to lead, at least from my definition of leading, it is where you're adding value to people. And I know there are people who have experienced negative leadership where they join a gang because they were searching and looking for someone to connect to. So they connected with someone who validated them in a negative behavior. But for me, it's important that the leader, the person that leads me, is someone that's adding value to me, someone that has gone ahead of me and see what's happening, could lead me into a brighter future. In 2015, I decided I wanted to get a certification for my life coaching, and I partnered with the John C. Maxwell coaching team. And one of the main reasons why I did that was because leadership is one of my core values. And as I assessed his teaching and the materials and his focus, I knew that he had something that I wanted to connect with. He is considered one of the world's top leadership gurus. And I wanted that to be in part of my legacy and part of my life and part of my connection. Many of you may think you're not leaders. And how do I know that? After I got my certification, I decided to offer some free mastermind sessions around the city that I lived in. And as I was looking back over the data this morning, I realized that I offered more than 15 free sessions at libraries, online, and in different venues at churches and so forth. And of all the people that I offered this opportunity to, for the ones who did not come on board, the excuse was, I'm not a leader. And I stopped by here to tell you that we are all leaders. And it's so important that you know, as a parent, you're a leader. Here is why I know that. Because from the minute that that baby is conceived in your stomach, moms, I'm speaking directly to you, that whatever you do affects that baby. When that baby's born, you are the first teacher. And it's so important that as maybe single moms or single dads out there, you are speaking into your child's life. You are letting them know their value and their worth. And as I was going through my training, there were three key things about the leadership that I understood, and I make sure that I live that out in my life. First, I had to learn what it is to be a leader. It's so important that you learn that as a leader, some of the qualities that you must experience as a leader and offer to other people is empathy. You must have a way to take responsibility for yourself, for your actions. You must be kind. It's so important that as a leader, we emulate behaviors that add value to people. So yes, you're learning it if you don't know it. And then once you learn it, you're living it out in your life. And after you live that out or continue to practice those skills that you have learned as a leader, it is now time for you to lead others. Some of us get confused because there are people out front, because they're in an organization, because they're leading a team that makes them a leader. I stopped by here to tell you that If that person's not adding value to you, if that person's not making your life better, if that person's not causing you to press pause and to look over your life and see how you can make your life better, then that's not the right leadership to connect yourself to. I looked over my life, and many of you know that I've gone through a divorce. And one of the main things that I share about the parts of my life that I needed to take responsibility of. And it's so important that as you lead you take responsibility for your own actions. I am not here to tear down my ex-husband. You will never hear me say that. Yes, you may hear me share tidbits or snippets of parts of what happened. But at the end of the day, it is my responsibility to take full responsibility of my portion. One of the things that I learned from John Maxwell, and I continue to live it out in my life, is taking time for assessment. No matter what's going on, I always pause at the end of the day in the time where I reflect, and I ask myself three questions. What went well? What didn't go well? And what can I learn from what did not go well? It is important that we do that, and that's how you lead your life, because that's the only way you are going to know what are the things you need in your life that you need to change, what are the things in your life that you need to fix. It is important for us to learn to lead ourselves, because that's the only way you're going to be able to lead others. How you treat people, how you treat those people you don't need. For example, the bellhop, the person who cleans the bathroom in your workplace, the homeless person. Your words are impactful. As a leader, your words should lift people up, not tear them down. Your words, your action should show that you are trying to help them and make their lives better. My grandmother was a great leader. She didn't just speak words, she showed me. And many of you may think that you're not leaders, and as I said, as parents, you are. And it's important that we understand that, because my grandmother, she showed me the path to entrepreneurship. Her life was a living example. Every step that she lived, as I look back over my life, I can see leadership in her. You may think nobody's watching, but believe me, somebody's always watching you. They're watching how you treat people you don't need. They're watching how you connect with others. They're watching how you speak to people, how you treat them. Leadership says, I want you to be the best version of yourself. And as I lead my family, whether you're a single parent, you are making sure that you're adding value to your kids. You're helping them see their worth and their value, what they're doing well. And if they're making mistakes or they're struggling, you're helping them see that out in that struggle, the message and the change that could come out of that, that's going to turn their life around. It is so important that we learn to lead ourselves, because if you learn to lead yourself, you take you in a room. When you walk in that room, you command people to look at you. You command people to listen to you by what you say, by what you do, by your sheer attitude. But if you don't lead you, you cannot lead anyone else, especially in a positive way. It is so important that we understand that leadership is vital to your nation, to your church, to your neighborhood, to your family. Knowing that leadership is important to me, in the dating world, we have to make sure we find someone that we connect with that can lead us, that could add value to us, someone that is going to see around the corner, because we have blind spots, and someone that's not afraid that you're going to get better than they are. As a good leader, you want people to become better than you are. You encourage them to become better than you are. You're not afraid of your position. Leadership is not a position. You know what leadership is? Leadership is influence. And it's important that we understand that influence, it could be negative or positive. And if you want to impact lives for the good, you must have influence. I want you to put me on pause right now if you know someone that is struggling to figure out if they're a leader or not. because they need to be a part of this conversation. They need to know the value in leading themselves. In my book, in the last section of my book, you will find that portion on leadership, because leadership is one of my core values. It makes me come alive. I function well when I have people around me that have a leadership mindset. It is so important that as leaders, you have followers, because if there's no one following you, you're only taking a walk. I'm quoting my mentor and coach, John C. Maxwell. It may not be those exact words, but the sentiment is there. And it's so important that we understand that to have a better world, a better life, a better relationship, you must learn to lead you. I am your coach. I am your sister. And I see leadership down on the inside of you. Leadership that you're unafraid to own the space and say, you know what? I may just be cleaning the bathroom, but I have to make sure that I do it well. Because at the end of the day, your work that you do, you're not doing it for your boss here on earth. You're doing it for the boss above. He wants you to live your life in a way that impacts you, impacts your children, impact those in your home, those in your community. Before you go out there to want to lead in an organization and lead in a company, make sure that you learn first what leadership is, you're living it out in your life, and then you can lead with it. So learn it, live it, and then lead. It is so important that we lead ourselves, because if you don't know the proper way to lead yourself, it will be a disaster. If you're struggling with understanding how you're a leader, because you're not in front of a group, because you're a single parent, because you've gone through a divorce, you don't know how to lead your life so that the next relationship you can connect to it well, reach out to me. Connect with me through email. Connect with me by DMing me. It is so important that we make a change in 2021 and become the best version of ourselves. And the only way to do that is to start with you, lead you, and then you can lead a world. Have a great day, and may God bless you. Bye-bye.